Listen, man, you're not struggling because you're lazy. You're not struggling because you don't want it bad enough. And you're not struggling because you simply don't have the talent. You're struggling because nobody has told you the truth about what it actually takes to develop. Listen, hard work is not enough and it's never really been enough. And the sooner you accept that, the sooner everything changes. Today, I'm going to show you why hard work alone is not enough to get you recruited or increase your development. And the 5 specific beliefs that are keeping you stuck. And what actually moves the needle when coaches are watching. Pay attention, this video changes everything. I'm Nate Kelly, I run the Close the Gap protocol, and I'm the strength conditioning coach for Anderson University's baseball program. I was the hardest worker on every single team I played on, and I simply outworked everybody around me. But I still ended up benched in college, and I still ended up underdeveloped. And I ended up watching my career end before it really started at the next level. Definitely not because I didn't work hard. Like I said, I worked harder than everybody else, but because I was working in the wrong direction. That distinction cost my whole career and it's costing yours right now. Before I jump into the 5 beliefs, we need to talk about this one fundamental truth. Hard work is the entry fee. Hard work is not the differentiator. Listen, dude, everybody works hard. So your solution of I just need to work harder is a complete fallacy. Every guy at the next level works hard. Every guy at your showcase works hard. Every uncommitted junior that's also stuck in their development, grinding every single day, works hard. Hard work is not what puts you in that 1% or gets you recruited. What gets you recruited is undeniable output. It's the exit velocity that stops coaches. It's that exit velocity that forces coaches to talk about you at showcases. Your explosiveness that jumps off the charts. And realistically, it's those numbers that do the talking before you ever open your mouth. But here's the catch. Undeniable output does not come from working harder. It comes from working in the right direction with the right system underneath you. And here are the 5 beliefs that are keeping you from that. Belief number 1 is that more reps equals a better development. This is the most universal belief in baseball development and it's completely wrong. Here's what more reps actually gives you. It's more repetitions of whatever pattern your body already has. Good or bad, efficient or broken. More reps grooves what already exists. And it does not create something new. I see this every single day. A player comes to me having already taken 1,000 swings in the offseason, but their exit velocity hasn't moved, and their mechanics look the exact same that they did 6 months ago. But he's confused because he's worked harder than ever. But here's what he actually did. He took thousands of reps with a broken movement pattern, and then he made it more permanent. That's just reinforcing his problems. Real development requires 3 things that reps alone will never give you. First is an outside eye. This identifies the deficiency you are reinforcing. Next is specific progressions that tackle this deficiency directly. And finally is a testing system. It tells you whether the fix you're making is actually creating output or just looking better in the cage. Without all 3, more reps does not equal more development. I worked with a player this past year who's taken more reps than anyone I've ever seen in my life. But his EV was stuck at 93 for 8 months. In the first session we worked together, we identified one specific deficiency, that every single one of his past reps was reinforcing. We fixed that one thing, and then the next, and then the next. 3 months later, he was hitting 101 EV. Not because he took more reps, because he finally took the right ones. Belief number 2, getting stronger equals a higher EV. Well, I lived this one personally. Junior year of high school, I was training in a rusty garage doing bodybuilder specific workouts. Convinced I was developing in my baseball metrics. Completely false. My exit velocity never moved, and here's exactly why. Strength and EV measure 2 distinct qualities. Strength measures how much you can produce, and exit velocity measures how fast you can produce that force. They are not the same thing. While strength does help, the correlation between strength and exit velocity is what's called rate of force development, or RFD for short. And it lives in your nervous system and not your muscles. And it requires a completely specific training stimulus to increase. And no, it is not your bodybuilder split. It's not push-pull legs, and it's not chest and frickin' back day. None of what you're doing right now is specific training that's actually gonna move this number. Here's what actually bridges that gap. It's called triphasic training. There are 3 phases. Phase 1 is your eccentric loading phase, 3 to 5 seconds on the way down of every single movement. You do this for 4 weeks and it teaches you how to absorb force. Phase 2 is isometric work, 3 to 5 second pause at your deepest range for every single exercise. This teaches your body how to absorb and hold elastic energy before you fire it off. 4 weeks here as well. Finally is phase 3, the concentric expression phase. Maximum velocity, maximum intent. This is where the weight room finally shows up in the cage and teaches your central nervous system how to fire fast. 4 weeks here as well. Without these 3 phases, your strength stays in the weight room. And your EV also stays exactly where it's at. And you keep wondering why the harder you lift, the less your stuff transfers. Belief number 3, more showcases equals more offers. Listen, your dad's been driving hours for showcases, spending thousands on entry fees, hotels, travel, and the coaches still don't care about you. So the answer must be more showcases, more exposure. Absolutely wrong. You don't have an exposure problem, dude. Your development hasn't met your exposure where it needs to be for that to actually translate into offers. The issue is what coaches see when they watch you. I also went to showcases when I played, man. I had the same EV, the same 60 time every time, and actually got worse down the line. And when I went to showcases, it just gave coaches a bigger opportunity to see exactly how underdeveloped I actually was. And having that exposure before development is literally paying showcases to overlook you. Keep making the excuse that the people who went to the showcases and got offers were just lucky. No, dude, they showed up with numbers that were undeniable, and they deserve that attention. Your job isn't to get in front of more coaches. Your job is to make those coaches stop in their tracks with your development and with your numbers. Belief number 4 is the right coach will eventually fix me. No, he won't. Well, you've already had 3 different coaches, 3 different opinions, 3 different sets of drills, and more confused than when you started. Awesome, and your exit velocity hasn't moved at all. So the answer must be finding the right coach, right? Well, here's a problem with that belief. 1 hour a week with even the best coach in the country leaves you on your own for the other 167 hours of the week. Again, grooving whatever pattern your body defaults to, without feedback and without anybody giving you an analysis or breakdown before it becomes permanent. Again, I had 3 coaches in high school. I had a hitting, strength, and a speed coach, and none of them communicated with each other, and I only went once a week. So there was no system that actually connected and correlated my physical development into one solid path. And don't even make me mention the mental side. I had nothing to help me there. I had 3 different inputs and honestly it just ended up overwhelming me. And that's why nothing was transferred. The right coach isn't a person, it's a system. It's a system that not only addresses your physical development, but your mechanical and mental development, all working together. 1 hour a week with a coach will never replace daily coaching with a complete system behind it. You need the right system, not the right coach. And belief number 5, the most dangerous of all and the one that I fell into the most. College will develop me. Okay, man, I believe this one and it cost me literally my whole career. I'm so passionate about this one, I'm telling you. I showed up to my D3 program expecting my coach to somehow unlock me, but he had 27 other position players. He didn't have time for my specific one-on-one development that I desperately needed. But nobody really does have time for you when you're towards the bottom of the depth chart. So I sat my freshman year and I also sat most of my sophomore year. Then I tore my UCL and my career was effectively over before it started. But here's a truth that nobody tells you before you commit. College coaches would rather select than develop. By the time your fall season is over your freshman year in college, coaching decisions are already being made. Who starts and who sits. If you show up underdeveloped, you will sit. And most guys never recover from that. Take it from me. Now, the development that saves your college career doesn't happen in college. It happens right now, before you ever step foot on the campus. The guys who step foot on campus and compete day one didn't figure it out when they got there. They figured it out before they arrived. And that window is what you have right now. And it's closing way faster than you think. Okay, Nate, so if hard work isn't the answer, then what is? Well, the answer is structured development. It's physical development structured around your force velocity profile, not a generic program or ChatGPT. A system built around specifically where your body is deficient and what you need to produce explosive force output. Then it's mechanical development built around what I call the stair-step method, which fixes one deficiency at a time in the right order and sequence. Each fix creating the foundation for the last. Not everything at once and not generic drill advice. Then the mental performance that's built around a real system. Pre-AB routines, an identity anchor, reset framework, breathwork, and visualization. Not just, hey, go get them next AB. A system that rewires how you actually show up on the diamond and maintains when that pressure comes and coaches are watching you. All 3 of which are inside my Close the Gap protocol. This is where hard work meets the right work, in the right direction with the right system behind it. Here's what that looks like with my real athletes. Liam used to spiral after every AB. He couldn't even put the ball out in BP, and he played every game like his life depended on it. And then he got the right physical and mental system behind him. He added 9 miles an hour to his exit velocity, and he's batting .470 his junior year of high school, the most important year for recruiting. He's got 4 bombs now, and he's leading his team to one of the best starts in program history. Julian used to watch his swing 50 times over, trying to figure out what was wrong. He was stuck at 93 EV for 8 freaking months. Then he got the right system behind him and he hit 101 EV off the tee. None of them work harder than you. They just finally worked in the right direction. So if you're an uncommitted junior or senior grinding your ass off and watching your metrics stay stuck while everybody else around you is getting recruited, the link to apply for the Close the Gap protocol is in the description. You've already proven you're willing to work hard. Now let's make sure that that work goes in the right direction. Click the link and you can apply today. Now spots are limited. Stand out and don't settle.